don't know no fucking Kiana, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Talk is Cheap with Kiana J. I am your host, Kiana J, and we are here starting the show off with some gossip from allegedly Alexis. What's going on, girl?
Okay, so starting over now. Five felony charges against Little Dirk after a 2019 shooting have been dropped. Back in 2019, when it first occurred, he surrendered to cops, maintaining his innocence, saying he has nothing to hide, he has nothing to run from. Now, the same case was involving him and the late rapper King Von. A lot of people are saying that it's mighty funny that 5 felony charges was dropped against him all at once. And now that King Von is dead, they're thinking that Little Dirk put the blame on King Von. I guess he does do that in his music, say how if he's involved in something, he puts the blame on the dead victim or the people who he was doing it with, but the dead people. So
because you can't
prosecute the dead.
Exactly. You can't prosecute the dead. But that's still snitching though.
It is, especially if that's your homie. Like, damn, Von probably pissed the hell off if he blamed.
You could just not say nothing. Like, but
true.
I guess.
True, but he probably felt like if he didn't give King Von name, they still was gonna come after him. So he probably had to.
That's the life you choose to live in. But
speaking of Dirk, he has been mighty quietly since the news broke that he got that new alleged baby mama. That's the complete opposite of India. That's a chocolate thing.
They always mess around with girls that's opposite of the girl they with.
Yes, and he got a baby, and that baby looked just like him. But they all look just like him with them big old eyes. So, but that's supposedly why him and India broke up, and he keep trolling, saying that "Welcome to Death Row. When you with me, you always gonna be with me."
Like a typical nigga,
right?
And a
typical rapper.
Fuck up, and then try to hold you hostage in a relationship that you don't want to be in no more because he fucked up.
Right, but then you got this whole world thinking you the voice of the streets, and you done made 4 songs about this damn girl. Like you wasn't supposed to cheat.
Girl, niggas ain't shit.
Idolize her.
No, I ain't gonna say all niggas, but most niggas ain't shit. So
if a nigga ain't did it, they thought about it.
Right. Oh dang! I put Kiana I instead of Kiana J.
They know who you are. Okay, now Kanye West is losing partnership after partnership. It was announced just last week that JP Morgan Chase, the bank is cutting ties with him. Later on in the week, just a few days ago, Balenciaga cut ties with him as well. And just as most recent as yesterday, it was Vogue. His high fashion connections are dissolving around him due to him not being able to shut the hell up, basically, about certain things. And it is causing him I think $250 million lawsuit with George Floyd's daughter with the things he's been saying. Vogue's big bosses, as well as the editor-in-chief Anna Wintour, wants nothing to do with Kanye West after his erratic behavior and anti-Semitic rants, and intend to never work with him again. Adidas also and Gap is closing him out of deals, closing him out of meetings and things that they're supposed to be working on together. He did an interview with Piers Morgan when he kept saying, "Hey boy, hey boy." Piers Morgan asked him about his mental illness, and Kanye West said that he believed that he doesn't have mental illness and that he suffered from exhaustion. He also hired the same lawyer that helped Johnny Depp win his case against his ex-wife. Her name is Camille Vasquez, and he hired her to handle all his business interests. So we will see how far he goes with this lawsuit he has against him losing partnerships and deals, him not being able to shut the hell up, him crying about Pete Davidson, whatever dude name is, Kim Kardashian, everybody else, Kris Jenner, So we will see. Now, Katori Hall, the creator of P Valley, thanked fans for the love and support. They announced, she announced that there will be a P Valley 3. The show did get renewed for a new season, but she said that it would be a Mississippi Minute before it airs. And I felt like we knew that because it took forever for us to get P Valley 2 season 2 from season 1. So
Right.
it's unexpected that we'll be waiting forever. And like me and you said, you probably won't be watching
I
season
won't be
2
watching.
because it was a lot.
It was a lot season 2, and it was just like it was too much. When I have to, with me having to get up and walk away from my TV, it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I just feel like it's too much. And then
It's too
it's I
it's too deep, like in depth with it. Like
yeah.
it's okay for
I,
the kissing, but y'all getting
and
down to the
it's
nitty
not
gritty.
me being homophobic or homo bashing, because that's what people are quick to say. It's just not for me. Like, it's just that directly, like, vivid picture of it is
Yeah.
just not for me. Like,
Uh-huh.
and that's my opinion. So yeah.
And I feel the same way. It was too much.
Hmm.
Now we also discussed Tupac ex-girlfriend claims that he told her he had sex with Faith Evans the day after it reportedly happened. She said that he called her on the phone and basically told her that he had smashed Faith Evans. She said that you can ask anybody and they would tell you that Tupac was not a liar. She never known him to be a liar, so she knows with 100% certainty that he fucked her.
I believe it. I believed it when he said it the first time. Because I'll be honest, a lot of these celebrities are fucking hoes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, take the
And
celebrity away.
Tupac, like I said, he's not here to tell his story. So many stories came out about him, and he haven't told neither one of them. You know what I'm saying? But in one of the interviews he did say he even fucked with Donna. Like, at the end of the day, that man said he was fucking a lot of female
Mm-hmm.
actresses, singers, rappers, like a lot of females in the industry. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe him, because
Mm-hmm.
he was fine as, and he was a thug too.
He was
Shit.
right. A rapper with his nose pierced, thug life, all of that. Yeah.
Baby, I bet she was getting all type of stuff thrown at him, baby.
And then Faith, we got to think about where her mind was. Biggie was unfaithful. She was beating up females, catching him doing stuff, and sometimes women want
And
to just say,
he had a whole relationship going with Lil' Kim too. So
right,
at that end, I think it was a get back for her
right. Some
husband.
people
But
want to
when
just
it came out, they was in the middle of reconciling, but it was his worst enemy. So it was just
right.
like,
It made it look bad, and I think that's why she
yeah, you
probably
know what I'm
never spoke
saying?
on it too, because that was his worst enemy, and she was married to him.
Yeah.
But a lot of women will, feel where she's coming from, whether we
It
married
was
or
her get
not.
back.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing. It was her get back. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't deny that a woman sometimes can be very vindictive. You know what I'm saying?
right.
We know, as women, if we know you, we know where to hit you where it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And she hit him where it hurt.
And then she was with Biggie, somebody that's fat, somebody that's ugly, somebody that's is was crossed, and he doing all of this stuff on her, and she's
Do you
faithful.
think she would have married Biggie if he wasn't who he was?
No,
Exactly. So at the
no,
end of the day, like I say all the time, and I be telling my sons this, as long as you got money, you ain't never got to chase a woman.
right.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. You ain't got to put no effort in. You ain't got to do none of that, because they're going to come to you.
And
No
that's
matter
what Floyd
how big,
Mayweather.
ugly, uh, they, you ain't never got to try to tell my sons this out. You ain't never got to put no effort into chasing a woman, as long as you
Mm-hmm.
got money.
You don't. And that's why Floyd Mayweather just said what he said. Everybody keep asking him when he gonna get married. He don't have to get married. He's the millionaire. He doesn't. They gonna whether he even if he was married, women is still gonna pursue him. So
Mm-hmm.
it really don't matter.
And he's smart. Why would I get married and I know I'm gonna cheat on my wife?
Right.
He knows
And
it.
that's what he
Like,
said. That's what he said. He don't trust nobody, so he rather not be married and
right.
take himself the disappointment. Because just think
I
he,
know I'm gonna cheat on my wife. It's pussy being thrown at me, eat you every way, all day, every day.
yeah.
The
He said the he not married the same reason why the divorce rate is so high. That
mm-hmm.
was just his exact words. So now Quavo and Takeoff was interviewed on Drink Champs and was asked if they prefer Nicki or Cardi. Quavo answered and said Nicki, and Takeoff said that that's crazy because he was going to say the same thing. Now, it's mighty funny that they are choosing Nicki over Cardi when they are so much family, and was just saying how Cardi is family, this family that they speak so much on loyalty. When Quavo done made a diss song about Nicki, when she didn't try to have him back her up on Twitter, he didn't come to her defense. So now that you into it with Offset, or y'all at odds, why you so quick to put down Cardi? Now, a lot of people are saying that Cardi is the reason why they are the Migos are feuding. A
I
lot of
believe
people,
that too. I
yeah,
do Cardi gonna be. I do
she's in
Cardi
his ear.
become between them, but I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna tell you why.
What was I gonna say? I forgot.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I feel like I do agree that she's probably in his ear. They said a lot of stuff that you got to think she's married to him. So when Amigos is trying to go on tour, when they trying to do this and when they trying to do that, she's probably trying to prevent that to save her marriage, to save him from cheating and doing certain things, and it's causing friction within the Migos.
So Quavo was what's Cardi husband? Which one is Cardi husband?
Offset.
Offset. Okay, so Offset was cheating a lot on Cardi, and they feel like birds of a feather flock together. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
feel like. She did blame Quavo now for his cheating. You know what I'm saying? She put it out there that they was doing some things that they weren't supposed to be doing, but she ended up back with Quavo, even though she said all these things about her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, probably the conditions of them getting back together, because when a man really wants to be with his wife, he will do what she asks him to do. So
Mm-hmm.
on the conditions, he had to separate himself from this group, and
Mm-hmm.
which made bad blood between them. Now they was family and they was riding with Cardi, but everybody is fake nowadays. So if
Right.
you fall out with somebody, most likely they're gonna go with the other side to spite you any fucking way, because that's the way people are anyway today.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no loyalty out here
And that's
whatsoever.
why I'm trying to see what he mean on loyalty with Offset. Is he meaning like they fell off because of the Saweetie thing and this, or is he saying they
Right.
fell
And
with
then
loyalty
found out that
because?
Offset possibly had fuck Sweetie, like
And
allegedly.
Cardi took to IG today to say that that will be discussed on Offset new album. So whether people are going to tune into his album or not, it's going to, that's a marketing right there by telling us that. So a lot of people are going to be tuned in to see what song it is, that he's going to be speaking about Sweetie, because we want to know what happened. So people are going to
And a
tune
lot of this be
in.
for album sales too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of beef is coming out. You gotta understand.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi is working on a new album. Offset's working on a new album that's about to be released. And I don't know if Quavo been working on, but everybody albums coming out and singles coming out and stuff like this. So drama gets the buzz, because now we gonna see if we can listen to the lyrics. And then now you're gonna see people posting, oh, is she talking about what's and he talking
Right.
about, so it's basically for album sales. That's just
And
what it
I
is.
feel like Offset should be able to
Yes, Ebony Cardi did know her husband was a dog.
right, and he should be able to differentiate the two. Like, this is my marriage, I'm going to be doing this and not doing this to save my marriage, and this is my career, I'm going to be doing this and not doing this to save my career. And maybe that's what Quavo meant with loyalty, because you would expect him to stay down with his family and his career. Like, you stuck with your wife and completely left the group, like, to do your own thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's they
It's a
say
big
it's
it's a big mess, but them celebrities, it be so much going on in their homes that we really don't know about until we find out the story about them. And then you be like, God damn. A
and
lot
they
of
just like
motherfuckers be,
us. They exactly like us, just with more fame and more money and more
and they stuff is
opportunities.
out there, but like they say, you don't know the truth unless you hear it from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you bits and pieces of their lives, but you don't actually know what's really going on in them homes. And then you be shocked when you really do find out, when one of them decide not caring what people think about them and actually decide to tell a story. Like I said, you always tell your story, because if you don't tell your story, somebody else gonna tell your story with their edits,
Right.
and it's not gonna be as the way you lived it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why
So
I told you earlier. That's why the new edition, the TLC
mhm.
biopics, is
I
good because
love them because it
they
came
were
from their
alive to
mouths.
right, and they were alive to put. Even though Left Eye is gone, still Chili and T-Boz is alive. You know, to put their story together, and they wasn't going to tarnish her name. The new edition
Mhm.
story was good, even though they no longer with Bobby Brown. That was good. Whitney Houston, she got
Mhm.
5, 6 different movies, you know, of everybody trying to tell what she
Her
was and
story.
wasn't like.
Everybody
Like,
trying to get a piece of the pie, tell Lacey her story with their edits from their point of
yes,
view. But if it came from her mouth, I bet you it'd be a whole different story.
right.
Even
And
with
then
Bobby Brown putting her in his story, it's, it'd be his side, her side, and the truth.
right.
And if
Mm-hmm.
both of them told a story, if she was allowed to tell her story, and both of them told their story, you can actually put the truth together. It's always his side, her side, and the truth. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Mm.
So I would be waiting to listen to Offset's album whenever that's coming out. Or I probably won't even listen. I'll wait until somebody else say, "Oh, he talking about it on track number whatever," and then go listen. He left like he can have a successful career without the Migos. Right. And I've been listening to a lot of songs that he's been featuring on. It's doing good, but I have yet to see him make that
The
hit
only
song
song that
without
I
them.
like of Offset is the one with Cardi, and she bodied him on that song.
Which
She
one?
bodied him on that song.
The old song?
The 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 one with him and Carly on his last
When
album.
she's sitting on his lap.
Yeah,
I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of it.
yeah. Like, come on now, like.
But I mean, you got to think she got multiple. He writing his stuff versus she has multiple hands in who's writing her stuff to say, "Oh no, I don't like that. Put this. Oh no, I don't like that. Put that." So that makes a difference too.
Yeah, well, he needs to get some writers, because it's the reason why Quavo came out on top of the Migos than the rest of them. So,
Yeah,
you know,
he was the catchy one. You talk about
so
clout. They do anything for clout. They do anything for
yeah,
clout.
that one.
Mhm.
That she bodied him on it.
She
Like,
did.
her verse was cold as hell. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
To
Like,
me, she's a bigger star. I mean, a lot of people will probably defer and say that he's the bigger star because he's been out longer, but I feel like he's in a group and she's solo. So whatever he was doing is attached to him and two other individuals versus her. Her songs is just her individually. Her videos is just her individually versus with him it's, oh, we gotta look at me at Offset, we gotta look at Takeoff, we gotta look at Quavo. It's a group thing, you know. So we'll see. Now, Elon Musk plans to lay off nearly 75% of Twitter employees since once his $44 billion deal for the social network goes through. Now he says that it's about 55. They have about 5,500 employees, and he's trying to shrink it down to 2,000. Or excuse me, it's 7,500 employees. He's trying to shrink it down to 2,000. So 5,500 people will lose their job.
from where?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yes. I don't work
Why?
for Twitter, but I use Twitter.
I go on there every once in a blue moon,
I
but I
love
don't
Twitter. So the
understand
people
how
that
it
he
works.
remove, I hope they don't have nothing to do with the layout of how minds function. Because I like
But
Twitter.
Twitter is better because you can curse and you can post what you
Yes.
want on there and stuff without being
Yes.
blocked, like unlike Facebook and TikTok and stuff
And
like
you don't
that.
have as many people creating pages to come try to troll you like Instagram and Facebook
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. That's why I like Twitter.
Mm.
But you know, he had bought Twitter and tried to back out of it. And just recently, he had a meeting and he said that it costs too much for no reason.
Mm.
So, but I guess he might still be going through with it. So we'll see. I will keep you guys posted. Now, while he's trying to take money out of people's pocket, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife is always in the spirit of blessing someone with cash. She donated $84.5 million to Girl Scout Cookies of USA, and that is the largest donation that they have ever received. She has given away $12 billion in the midst of the past 3 years. So, if y'all have any way to get me in contact with her, I will babysit her dog. I will go get her mail from the sidewalk. Anything.
She
Listen.
should donate to the, even though we don't like the Boy Scouts popcorn, I think they should come out with something else. Like Girl Scouts be killing on them cookies. Them
Yeah,
cookies be
they
good
do.
as hell.
They
But
do.
that Boy Scouts popcorn is not so tasty.
Maybe the
They,
Boy Scouts should do how the Christmas time do the mixture of the white cheese and caramel popcorn.
they
Something
have to
like
have it
that.
good.
Yeah,
Like a
like
Garrett
Garrett.
brand.
Like Garrett.
Right. Yeah.
Like a Garrett Buddy Squirrel. They should have took over Buddy Squirrel.
You know, they
That
need
do
something
sound
else. Because they ain't making no money with that little popcorn. Girl
no.
starts making billions of dollars, millions of dollars.
And I love how she married a multi-billion-dollar man, divorced him, and out of all the money she gets, she is continuously putting it back in the community, giving it away, giving it away, giving it away. Like,
Yeah, the Boy Scouts do need the money more than the Girl Scouts, but the Girl Scouts cookies are fine. Like, I
yeah.
don't know
And we
what
got
y'all
so
want us to
many
do.
different brands too.
That little nasty popcorn that the Boy Scouts.
But I mean, she could have took that 84 million
She could have split
and
it
split it,
between them. Yeah.
split it. But who am I? I won't. I
But it
won't
just
tell her
shows
don't
the
get them
girls
shit.
always win.
I tell her don't get the boys shit. Give me the other half.
It
So,
just shows the girls always win. I'm just saying.
and they probably are more established, the girls over the boys. Like they probably got
Yeah.
a better organization up and going and everything. The Girl Scouts can make that much in cookies alone. Yes. So
Yes.
she
Because
wants
I know I buy a few boxes.
it's business probably why she did it like that. She knew she can make it back. And you got to think it's going to be a tax credit, a tax write
Yeah.
off that she's going to, so.
Yeah. So.
Now, today marked the 1 year anniversary of the day that Alan Baldwin shot and killed the movie TV producer lady on set. And he's facing a lot of backlash because on that day she took a picture, and he has now took that picture and posted it on his page with the caption 1 year later. And a lot of people think that that's very rude. It's very insensitive. Not only did you killed this woman, but you just posted like it's nothing. So a lot of people feel like, and I do too, feel like people with money get away
Can do
with
what they want, especially white folks.
yes, get away with
We
a
just gonna get down
lot.
to what it is. Like they, and again, I was watching Charlemagne. I watched his Hell of a Week, and he says it perfectly. It's your skin color. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was black, he'd have been locked up. You know
He
what
would
I'm
have been
saying?
tried. Yep.
Like we're not finna act like
If that was
they
Tyler
don't get
Perry,
away with
if that was
murder.
Tyler Perry or anybody on his set had that happen to, they would have pressed charges for
Everything been
everybody.
shut down. All type of
Everything.
shit.
Yep.
Like, come on now.
Sisters on BT, everything would have been on pause. Production,
Yeah.
everything. But
Right.
because he got pulled and he got money, he escaped it.
Look. We ain't gonna act like his skin color ain't got nothing to do with it because it got everything to do with it.
Yep. A lot of people are saying that his family needs to step up and try to humble him. But you got to think if they want to, or if they even tried and they feel like they can't go up against him because they don't have the resources or the money and the power, that they really want or need to withstand going up against him. So it's just effed up. That's why people have crazy ass thoughts, because it couldn't have been me. I would have been in your damn bushes with all type of bugs crawling on me, waiting on you to come home. As easy as it is for people to get in these celebrities' yards, they done went on Chris Brown and the Baby and Drake yard and everything. I definitely would have got on Alec Baldwin yard. Somebody's. But that is all the news I have for this Sunday's allegedly Alexis.
Thank you for coming back, girl. I appreciate
You are
it.
welcome.
Have a good one.
Thank you. I'll talk to you
right.
later.
All right, bye.
Okay.
All right, guys. Hi, it's me, and I'm here to talk about me. So, I don't know how I'm gonna start this because I wasn't gonna talk about this until my family brought it up in one of my podcasts, and a lot of people don't know this. Like a lot of people that I have in my life do not know this story about me, because this story started when I was very young, and as a young girl, I developed early, and I didn't look the age that I was. So the people that I hung out with was from 16 to 19. So we're gonna start there. Okay. So let's get started. So I'm gonna tell it like a story, but it's gonna be like it's really unbelievable. Like you really have to talk to the people that was actually there too, which is my little sisters, my mom, dad, stepmom, who came at the end of it and stuff like that. People I went to school with at that time. The people that I got involved with at that time, most of them probably dead. I think most of them are dead. Even the boyfriend at the time that got me involved, he's dead. So yeah, and it's crazy because man, by the time I got to Mississippi, I had changed my whole life around. So let's get started on how Kiana was in a gang. Can you believe it? But that's kind of be. Every time in chat, I can claim it. I can chime in. Oh yeah, definitely chime in, sister, if you want to, because we definitely it's crazy because how young I was, people don't believe the story, and because we didn't talk about it, because we didn't talk about it once I moved and on in life. Even my baby daddies and stuff don't know this. Like nobody knows this story because I chose not to talk about it. So I never brought it up because I don't know if I don't think I was ashamed of it because it was part of my life, but it was just like once I had my kids, I didn't want people when I moved to know me as that. I want to be a different person. And remember, I always say I'm a different person everywhere I go. And when I literally say, do you know who I am? I'm not saying it to be all, I'm saying it to like, you really don't know who I am. Like, for real. I had a whole different life at a young age, and I'm about to tell y'all about it. So at the age of 13, I was living with my mom, and I was going through some stuff, as a teenager. Teenagers go through things, and I was going through things in and out the house or whatever. My siblings was very, very young at that time. So I was tall. I was very tall, and I had boobs. I had the boobs by the time I was 10 years old. So at the time, I wasn't supposed to have a boyfriend then. But I wasn't supposed to date until I was 16. But us little fast girls, you know what I'm saying? I had a boyfriend. I actually had two boyfriends. I had a boyfriend outside of school, and I had a boyfriend inside of school. Okay. Now, my boyfriend outside school, his name was Punkin. Okay. He was involved in the gang called the Almighty Vice Lord, the branch of the CBLs. Okay. That was my outside boyfriend. Then I had a boyfriend in school that was all about books and stuff like that. His name was Earl. So yeah, okay. So Pumpkin is the one I spent the most time with because he was a little rough around the edges. He wasn't the cutest thing. He was the one, like the guy that was basically cute with a hat on, but when he take it off, you'd be like, yeah. But it was the way he carried himself that attracted me to him. Us young girls, we liked thugs and stuff at that time. So at the age of 13, I was dating this guy named Pumpkin. Okay. Now, Pumpkin was very, very in the streets. Okay. He was I think Pumpkin was like 16 years old at the time. He said he was ugly. You remember that? I didn't know if y'all remember podcast. But we started hanging out together and stuff like that. So I wanted to be with him a lot, and he was into a lot of stuff. Us girls falling, and the stuff they was doing I thought was fun and stuff. And I was kind of rough around the edges. Like now I'm still kind of rough around the edges. And I was kind of rough right around the edges. And, I used to fight all the time. Like fight. So me and him was sitting down one day. And there's not many girls in this gang in that area. I think I was one of the first. So me and him was sitting down one day. And he was like, I was talking to the guys or whatever. And we think you should join. I'm like, join what? He was like, join us and unite with the Almighty Vice Lords, conservative Vice Lords. And I was like, no, because I hear they have to sex you in and all that other stuff and try to beat you up and all that other stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, no. So he was like, no. He told me, he was like, because you are with an Almighty Vice Lord already, we don't have to do that. They don't do that to you. If your boyfriend is already in the game, the only way you can be blessed in if you go through another ritual, and being blessed in is an initiation. I'm actually initiated. I'm gonna tell you this, I am not a gangbanger that wake up in the neighborhood that I'm in and be like, oh yeah, I'm GD, or oh yeah, I'm Vice Lord, oh yeah, I'm because that's who I'm around. No, I am actually a initiated, blessed in, conservative Vice Lord. The only way to get out that game is death. That's dead end. So I went through the ritual, which is face the east, say the lit, learn the lit, repeat the lit at the meetings and stuff like that. So make sure you know all 6 points of the stars and all that stuff, So basically I did the initiation. So I did become one of the first in the area female Vice Lords, Almighty Vice Lords, conservative Vice Lords. Now, with that being said, shit became real. Because by me and being outside of the game, I didn't see what was really going on in the game. Now, what I'm going to say is the game is bad, but they teach you values like respect. I'm big on respect. I'm big on loyalty and stuff like that. They did respect their elders. They kept kids safe, and things of that nature. And women and children are untouchable. If they, unlike today, back then, it was way different. I was 13. Again, at this time, I was 13 years old. And I didn't look 13. I looked like I was 16 years old, but actually I was 13. And the people I was hanging around with was like 16 and 19 years old. So that's how I ended up in this game. And the values that they had was, but the things that they got into that I will not mention because due to it might incriminate me, and some of these things don't have statutes of limitations. So some of these things I will not speak on, but basically it was different, you know. I did because I was one of the first ones to be recruited in the game, that I had to find females too also, to be blessed into the game, and I did do that. So we did have our girl gang and our boy gang. I used to, the only thing I regret a lot of the stuff I did in the game, but the one thing that I regret the most is put my smaller siblings in harm's way. Um, the fact that I used to have to babysit them, knowing the things that might happen, and I used to have to take them with me, was, as a teen, young teen, you don't think about things like that, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes I would just leave them at the park, but what they don't know is when I left them at the park, it was always somebody there watching them from afar. So nobody would bother them, or, you know, just in case something might have happened or something. But I would leave them just when I had to run out and do something or take care of some business. How my mama ended up finding out I was in a gang, I had got into some trouble at school, and my teacher told her. He told her, because I used to have my mama buy me gang clothes, like cane color clothes. Like, she didn't know that she was buying gang colors, but I used to have her, like, my pullover hoodies. Back then we wore pullover hoodies with gang colors. My shoes matched gang colors and stuff. So when she came up to school, my teacher ended up telling her, like, do you know that your daughter's in a gang? And then my mom's like, what you mean? She in a gang? What, you know? And he was like, look at what she got on. And he was pointing to my clothes or whatever. And then, and she looked and she was like, what? He was like, those are gang affiliated colors. And then she looked at me, and I didn't look at her, because you could tell out your provision, your side, that, you know, that you in deep shit, you know. But yeah, she found out that day, and I think that's the day that she had just stopped, you know, buying, you know, stuff for me, because she was like, we said, okay, that's reassuring. She had stopped buying that stuff for me because of that reason. So Punky ended up used to have to buy my stuff for me. So, and my shoes and stuff like that, because she wasn't buying anything of them gang colors. She would buy clothes and stuff like that, but anything of the colors that was gang affiliated, she wouldn't buy. So, stuff like that. But yeah, so that's how I got involved in the game. We used to go to real gang members. That's why I said real gang members. We had picnics, okay, that you were allowed to go to. So we had our own, or we would collaborate with the Black Peace Stones. Now, it was a danger to go to these picnics. Now, I think I left my sister and them in a park one time while I went to the picnic, because I couldn't take them, because it's a danger of going to these picnics, because it might get shot up, you know. So that's just, you know. So I think we ended up going to, because one did get shot up. One picnic did get shot up one time. But yeah, the picnics we had the picnic once a year. And again, we used to collaborate sometimes with the Black Peace Stones. So yes, like I said, real gang members. Not the ones they claim they're in the gang, but real ones. um, how I trying to change my life a little bit. Before I go to there, I used to just to be out late and I used to sleep in the park a lot, or stay at a friend's house or whatever. Because sometimes I have to be out because you have to again do tasks or take care of some business, and my curfew would let me stay out as long as I needed to. So I used to run away from home a lot. A lot, like for real. Like I would come home like Sunday, and you got again. I'm only 13. Like I'm 13 years old, but back then I was kind of nuts. So I was crazy. I was always in trouble. I was always fighting. I was mad. I was angry. I was mean. I was horrible. Like I was a horrible teen. I ain't even feel like to you. I was horrible, and it's crazy because I never spoke about this, and my sister was like, "You ain't never told your kids the stories of nothing." No, because now I'm telling them because they're grown. They're past the ages of getting in that type of trouble. Even with my son going to prison, I have did worse stuff than he did. He just got caught. The people that I hung around with because I was the lead girl in our branch on that side of town is because I was protected by the men in that branch. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff that we got into, they made sure I got home safely. You know what I'm saying? Or made sure that, she wasn't there, or, make sure everybody say she wasn't there. So, and they was keen on me going to school, like go to school. Like you gotta go to school, like stuff like that. They always made sure. That's why I'm always about, me being protected by men. Like some of my male friends, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't know how to protect me. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like certain things are small. And I feel like certain things that they should protect me from, like another man calling me out my name or something like that, you should handle it. But, nowadays, men don't really protect women like men did back in the day. Nowadays, men don't really protect women like men did back in the day. So I got away with a lot of stuff back then when I was in gangs because of the protection of the gang members I called my brothers back then. So that's how I was able to escape a lot of the stuff that, I got involved with that I would not say because it still can incriminate me in the court of law, and, it don't have statute of limitations. So, and I do apologize if anybody was hurt or, and all that other stuff. So when I started to turn my life around was when I was 14 years old, and my gang life got me into some. Now, before that, I had got jumped too. I had got jumped by some Jamaicans because, which I was like, that really, really messed me up. But I got jumped after school. But me changing my life is I had to go live with my daddy. I had got into some trouble. So it was brought up on my podcast to a couple of weeks ago that I robbed our house. Technically, like I say, it be edits to the story, I'm not going to mention all of it, but some of it's true. Like, I did rob our house. I did. But I didn't like my mom's, I'll be honest, I didn't like my mom's boyfriend at the time. I couldn't stand him. I didn't rob our house. I robbed him. I'm still mad at the person who took our house from, because when nothing else took it from my sisters, my mom, or me, it was him I robbed. It was him I robbed. It just so happened somebody took our damn house phone, which it and they weren't supposed to touch it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the story. Like and because of that, I was badly jumped on afterwards. Yeah, he got a hold of me. The boyfriend got a hold of me, and I end up getting dropped off to my dad. So, I can't tell that story without saying that part. I hate that I have to say it, but you know what I'm saying? I have to tell the story because it was brought up. So I just wanted to make sure that, the story was being told properly. Like, yes, I did. I didn't technically rob us. I robbed him. But, hey, Josh, hey, cousin Freak, what's going on? So after I robbed him again, which came with consequences of me robbing him, it was a choice between me and him, and it was me. So basically, I ended up with my dad, dropped off to him, and again, he knew what was going on. My mom called her. My dad. Okay, before I went to my dad though, my mom tried before I robbed the boyfriend. My mom, before I got into all that trouble, my mom tried to ship me to my grandmother, and I went out there, and I stayed a week, and I think I had got into a fight that week. I was there at a jewel. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And my grandma sent me back to my mama. And you a terrible child when your grandma was like, because your grandma usually can, handle it. And my grandma was mean too on my mama's side. She was real mean. But when she said, I can't do her, she was like, no, I can't do her. I was sent back. So that I was sitting back, and then that's when things got worse with me because it just felt like, okay, nobody can handle me. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it was just like I could do what I want to do. So I was making problems in school. I was making problems in the street. I even got my little sister hit by a car in a place I wasn't supposed to be in. Got her tooth knocked out. She just got that tooth fixed some years ago. But my and again, like I said, I put my little siblings in a lot of harm's way at that time. At the age of 13, it was hard. So I end up going to my dad, and I was still kind of in a gang life, not knowing how to adjust to the new life. Again, like I said, I'm a different person, different person. When I'm in Chicago, I'm a whole different person. I'm aggressive. It's for some reason, every time I go, I always end up in a fight because I just feel like the people now are so disrespectful, so I'm very aggressive when I'm there. Like, I'm very aggressive when I'm there. So when I was 14, and I ended up at my dad's, and I'm trying to adjust. Now, imagine when I first get there, I don't know, some of y'all know I have a brother named Jay. Okay. I know, Josh. It is crazy how calm I am. Calm down. I'm gonna get to it compared to this. And I still pop off quick. And that's why when people don't, Josh, the reason I'm telling the story because I still have these tendencies in me, and some people don't understand like the lifestyle that you come from. And like I was saying before, I am a real life initiated gang member. I am not a gang member that woke up and was like, oh, I live in this neighborhood, I'm gonna become what this neighborhood is. No, I had to be initiated like into the game at the age of 13. I don't see why I put this up. So I moved my dad, and mind you, again, like I had bruises all over my face. I was messed up real bad and stuff like that. When I first moved in, my brother was GD. Now in gangs, your family is it don't matter. And I'm gonna be honest. People have been killed, brothers, sisters, cousins in the same family because of gang affiliation. And that's just what it is. At the end of the day, the gang is your family. That's just what it is. And family loyalty, the gang is your family. So that's the mentality I had at the age of 14 when I moved with my dad. So my brother didn't like me coming into the dope as it is. When I popped up over there. You know what I'm saying? He was GD. And then our rooms was right next to each other. So my stepmom, I have to really tell y'all this story. But me and him had the worst fights ever. Ever. Like, furniture was being thrown. The house was being torn up. We was going at it. And I talked to him about this when I was just down there for homecoming. And I was like, what was it? He was like, them niggas in Chicago had you thinking that you can act the way they act. And I think it was more of me invading his space because he always was with my dad. You know, he always been with my dad since he was a little boy. To me coming in, I'm in a different game, and I thought I was tough, which I still think I am. You know what I'm saying? And me just coming in there, and I'm the big sister. Like, I'm still the oldest. Like, you, what you gonna do about it? Like, that's how I was. Melanie was here last week on the show, and she was telling y'all when I first got to school. Now, the way I dressed back there, it was basically bandanas, baggy pants, flannel jackets. That's the basically. What you want to stand up? I'm not done cooking. Go sit down. I'm finna finish cooking when I'm done. Okay. So the way I used to dress was baggy jeans, flannel bandanas, and flannel jackets, which was and halters. You know, I was real. I was real like that. My little sister Amy used to call me, you used to look like Aaliyah. And then my friend Melanie, that's how I went to school or stuff like that. And she was like, I thought my friend was cool. Like, she was so cool. She was having bandanas and stuff like that. And everywhere I moved, you know, people used to always try me. And it's funny because, you know, at this time, it's just like, I was like, you don't know who I am to try me. You know, I can, you know, technically take your life and not think nothing else about it. You know what I'm saying? That was my thought process. You know, but, you know, that's the way, you know, I thought, you know, but, you know, little fights here and there, you know, and stuff like that. When I got my dad, I slowly changed my life. Before, I was with my dad in Milwaukee, 8th grade, a little bit of 9th. And we had to move to Mississippi. I was determined when I went to Mississippi that I was going to reinvent myself. And it's crazy because you think about, like, I have seen and done more from 13 to 15 than adults have ever seen and done in their life. You know what I'm saying? And that be so astonishing to me because it's just like I didn't like telling the story because they bring back good memories and they bring back bad memories. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like from 13 to 15. Yes, my dad in Mississippi saved my life. From 13 to 15, it was a lot going on. in a teenage girl life that shouldn't have been going on in her life. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? What people don't understand is the person I am today is not the person you would think I would ever been back then. You know what I'm saying? And when I tell my story to some of the people, like my friends, the people that I trusted with my story, they be shocked because they be like, I don't believe it. Like, you know, and it's like, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's crazy on how you get involved. It's always because of a boy. I get involved because of a boy. You know? And my school boyfriend, he was cool, but he didn't come out much. You know what I'm saying? He was about books and stuff. But the one that was in the street caught my attention, and I want to be with him more. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Pumpkin had been through a lot in that little year that we was together. You know what I'm saying? God rest his soul, rest in peace. But that was my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That was my dude. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my friend, and he was my protector, and he made sure that I was safe at all times. You know, he was older than me, but you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And I look for that in a lot of people when it comes to men, and I just feel like that just it's not given, you know, nowadays with men. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know I'm friendly now, but I was mean and bad back then. Gosh, I was horrible. So when I went to Mississippi, I moved. My dad, we had to move from Milwaukee to Mississippi. It was me and my brother. So imagine going to a new state, a new school, and you by yourself. Okay. I didn't move down there with sisters. I didn't move down there with family, cousins, and stuff like that. Everybody, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of most of my cousins. I'm the oldest of my siblings. So everybody was very younger. So I said, I'm going to reinvent myself. Like, you know, I'm going to become a different person. So I never spoke about my gang life when I got down there. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I always felt like people tried me down there too. And it's like, it's okay to try the people you grew up with. But somebody you don't know what they've been through. You know what I'm saying? For you to just feel like you could try to pick on them. You know what I'm saying? So I had, my first year there was a hell of a fight. But I came out on top. I came out on top. So, you know, but at the end of the day, shit, it is what it is. But I never mentioned the fact when I was in Mississippi ever that I was in a gang. I was blessed into a gang. Ever. My baby daddy never knew. Never talked about it. They knew I was a little rough around the edges. I'm not your typical girl. I tell everybody that I don't carry bags. You know what I'm saying? I just started wearing wigs some years ago, and I just started getting my nails done by my sister. You know what I'm saying? They not done now because she's not here. So, that's I'm not your. I don't like carrying purses. I'm not your typical girly girl, and that's just gonna always be me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gay. I love me some dick, even though I ain't had none in a year, but at the end of the day, I'm just not your typical girl. I am rough around the edges. I am a little rougher than most female. Exactly. But that taught me too how to be protective. I'm very protective over anybody I love. My siblings, my cousins. My siblings will call me quick, fast, and hurry. My cousins never call me and be like, "Cuz, what you want to do? We gonna move when you want to move." You know what I'm saying? It's just because I protect, and I protect what I will have. Somebody will take my life before I let anybody take anybody I love life if I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the person that I am. You protect your own. You know what I'm saying? I would stand in the front line of fire of anyone that I love. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me. Again, Mississippi, nobody knew. Okay, so I got older. I ended up having kids. I ended up moving back to Illinois, getting a baby daddy there, and they didn't know. I was in that relationship for 13 years. They didn't know. They didn't know my backstory. It's crazy how I kept that secret for all these years. Like, like you think about it. No, let me go back. So, after I had my first child, I kind of missed gang life. So I ended up moving to Illinois after I had my first child, right? And I went to this predominantly white school. It was Conant High School. It was only like 2 hands full of black people there. Why I created a gang at the school? I swear to God, I just not lying to you. I created a gang at the school. I don't know. I always create a clique or a squad. I don't know, but I created a gang. I got the pictures to prove it. I created a gang at that school. And because they couldn't be blessed ends as CBLs, I made up another name. We called ourselves the Clique. Yes, the Clique. And it was a gang of us, black girls. I think it was 2 Mexican and black girls mixed, and they were sisters. I had one mixed white and black girl, Latrice, Stephanie. It was me, Hillary, Stephanie, Keisha, Latrice. It was Nancy. It was a few of us, and I created a game. Can y'all believe that? I created, because I kind of missed game, like, so I kind of created a game. We got suspended together. Yeah, the principal called my mama too. Yeah, that was after I had my first child. So I had left Mississippi after I had my first child. I was like 17. I was a senior high school at this time. And I was trying to finish my high school year, but I finished it at another school. So yeah, that's how that went. But I ended up moving back to Mississippi. I ended up having my second child, and that's how that happened. That was funny. I had to remember that. They tried to expel me. He told my mom if I got suspended one more time, I wouldn't be able to come back to that school. And it's crazy because being black in mostly white school, and then you get all the black people together, like, what I'm saying, to, come together. It was a problem, and that's what I did. Like, we was lit up in there. I ain't even lie. We kind of turned that little white school out a little bit, Now it's a little hood school, a little bit. We did. So I ended up going back to Mississippi, had my second child, and then I ended up back in Illinois when I had my third child again. I was in that relationship for 13 years. They never knew. They never do. Until they almost found out. So what? My baby daddy's sister met this girl who worked with her. I'll never forget the story. Who worked with her. The world be so small. Do you know that? So you know how your pants kind of come back and hunt you a little bit, but you kind of stop it? That's kind of what they was. So she worked with this girl who was actually one of my road dogs back in the day when I was game banking. They was working at the same place that she had brought her around now, and we were so shocked to see each other because we ain't seen each other since we was like 13, 14 years old. Her name was Dawson. And I was like, oh, I hope she don't say nothing. Until I think me and my baby daddy and his family had got into an argument and she was there. And she was like, she had pulled me outside. And they had came out with her because she was telling me to calm down. Because she knew how I was back then. So that she had pulled me outside. She was like, calm down, you know what I'm saying? She knew how I was back then. Um, you know, and so she had told them, she was like, "Do y'all know who she is?" And I had to tap her like, "No, don't say nothing." You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, don't say nothing. And then she was like, "They don't know." I was like, "No, they don't know." And then she was like, "Y'all," she told them exactly like, "Y'all gotta leave that girl alone. Yeah, y'all don't know who she is," and I'm just leaving it at that. But yeah, uh, that life, I just feel like telling the story now is very, very important because um, it's some people I want my story to be told from my mouth. Okay, I don't want nobody else to tell my story from their mouth with their edits. You know, and that's not even all the story. It's just an outline of what life was kind of like a little bit. My life can be made into a book, and if my children decide to do that, they can sit down with me and ask me detail from detail, and I will tell them. Because I just feel like, again, me at the age from 13 to 15, going through what I went through and doing the things that I did, being initiated into a gang, um, was very, very a lot for a girl at that age, you know. And it's the story to be told of the unbelievable story, but it's a true story, and it's a lot of girls that have been through that with me, or who don't know me have gone through things like that. And my life has completely did a 160. Not technically, because I'm not dead. I am technically still an almighty conservative vice lord, but I don't carry myself that way. I don't claim that anymore. My life is different now. I do still carry some of the values that they did teach me, though: the loyalty, respect, family, love, you know, and all that stuff. All 6 points of the star, I do carry all 6 points of the star with me always, because those are values that I try to teach anyway. I'm very strong on those values, because they are values that people don't even hold anymore, you know. And it's just like, them are the values that people respect out of you. And so that's me. But they did teach me, and again, it got me into a lot of trouble. I'm not saying this for people to be like, "Oh, it was," no. God had another plan for me, and um, He made sure that I didn't end up dead or in jail. That was, and I'm very grateful and thankful that I did not, you know, end up dead or in jail. The people that I did have around me was very, again, protective over me. Now, they took that respect and loyalty to a whole nother level when it came to me. So that alone was a protection of making sure that I try to change my life. They didn't know that they was helping me to change my life, but they did. And if I didn't, you know, rob the house, I wouldn't have ended up with my father, and I wouldn't have ended up the person I am today. So yeah, I always say my dad changed my life drastically. He saved my life. And he did tell me when I got there, like, the shit you doing now stops here. You know? And it took me a while to adjust to a different type of life, you know, a different type of situation, you know. But one thing he never had to do was put his hands on me or, you know, do anything that made me feel like I wasn't worthy. So, you know, so your life can change, your situations can change, you can become a different person every time. And I am factually, I don't even know if that's a word, bro, factually proof that you can be a different person, like a different person. It's so many sides to me, y'all. Like, and it interferes with my dating life because I am rough around the edges and I scare a lot of men. Ain't it crazy, right? Men are scared of me. I feel like I'm like, and it's me. I know, you can't just punk me. You ain't gonna punk me like I'm some punk ass bitch. You know, I'm just not gonna let you punk me like I'm so. We not gonna do that, But that's the mentality I have. I can't help that. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you want to fight, we gonna fight. Like. I come with the same energy you come with, you know what I'm saying? Big dick energy, but that's me. I don't I just, I try to be feminine, that girly shit be on some other shit. It's too much being a girl. I'm telling you that now you gotta bring your light down to appease somebody else. Like, girls can't be as smart, girls can't speak their minds, girls can't, you always got to be pretty all the time, I don't walk around with this wig on. My hair in cornrows. I used to wear cornrows back when I was gay, back. I don't mind the cornrow. Like, with some bandanas, baby. So why y'all think I wear hoodies and scullies? I'm comfortable in that. Like, I'm comfortable in being in that. Like, sure, being a girl trying to do that girly stuff is hard, every now and then I feel like I want to get pretty. Yeah, every now and then I feel like, okay, let me put on a dress. Let me put on some heels. Let me go out here and look cute, But that's for me. That's not for y'all. But my mentality is from back in the day because I didn't have to dress. I didn't have to be girly, for to be in the situation that I was in. You know what I'm saying? Us being in baggy clothes and stuff like that, hoodies and scullies and stuff like that was our wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? They knew we was girls. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way we dress. So, I still have that mentality, and they'll never leave. My attitude has changed a lot. Back then, again, I was mean. I was horrible. I was a horrible teen. I gave my mama hell. I gave my sister them hell. Back then, me and my sisters never wanted close as much as we is now today. And the things that I put them in that I shouldn't have as a big sister, I just feel I feel bad for it because as their big sister at that time I should have protected them, which I was protecting them, which made sure, what I'm saying, but I did put them in harm's way too. So at the end of the day, that's my regret, because my mom did put me in charge of them being the oldest child, and me being the oldest, I should have took more responsibility of that. But I just want to get my story out there again. The story was never told, and I just want to make sure it was told in the way I lived it, and I lived it. And again, like I said, it was some details left out because it could incriminate me in court of law, and some limitations of statutes or statutes of limitations that do not expire. So, but if anybody like want to write a book when I'm dead gone, family only, close family, sisters, siblings, kids, they can ask me what they want and I give them the details because that's just what it is. So Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate it. Let me see if I have any more questions. I think not. My thing about to go dead. So that's it. I'm a whole different person. Kiana is doing big things. Podcast is getting a little more traffic to it. You know, I'm out here working. I got my beautiful home and stuff, and my kids love me. My family love me. I'm a people's person. I speak to everybody. I'm nice now. I'm a nicer person. You know, so you piss me off. You know, you piss me off. Like, it's a whole different Kiana. But, you know, I try not to go back into that space. You know, that's why I say I don't like arguing because I know where it can go. I don't like to fight. I know where it can go. So at the end of the day, but like I said, I'm a different person in Memphis. I'm a different person in Mississippi. I'm a different person in Milwaukee. I'm a different person in Chicago. You know, wherever I'm at, that's the person you're going to get. It depends on which one you like, which one you don't, you know, and that's what it is. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Talking Shit with Kiana J. I am your host, Kiana J. If nobody told y'all, I am going to tell you because I have to go finish cooking for my boys. I love you.